What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of AniNews. I know it's been a while since my last news video, but to be honest, ever since the new season started, there hasn't been too many major preview releases or announcements. Yeah, sure, there's been a lot of other newsworthy topics floating around the anime community, what with Crunchyroll censoring their games and Mother's Basement getting his videos ripped off, but those topics have already been covered in great detail in videos much better than I would ever be able to put out. So what exactly do I got for you today? Other than a few previews for the newly announced Gundam narrative series or the Hibike Euphonium spin-off movie, there were a few relatively big announcements as well. The one that probably hit everyone's radar was the recent announcement for the anime adaptation of the popular Shonen Jump manga, The Promised Neverland. A Twitter page for the series, as well as a website with the domain name neverlandanime.com, was created. So it seems that it's all but confirmed that sometime in the near future, probably in a year or so, we'll be seeing the anime version of this hit series. It seems also that a lot of the most popular Shonen Jump mangas will eventually get their own adaptations, but let's hope that this one does a little bit better than Black Clover does. If you're wondering what the premise is, according to my anime list, it's a mystery horror that covers the daily lives of orphans whose everyday needs are taken care of and then some. All they have to do in return is take a couple tests, do a few tedious activities, and then they're free to do whatever they want. But you know how the saying goes, if something's too good to be true, then it most likely is. Especially when there's a strict rule that must always be followed stating that you can't leave the orphanage under any circumstance. So through this story you get to figure out the mystery that surrounds the orphanage and what lies beyond it. Now with this manga's popularity, and considering that it's another Shonen Jump adaptation, then it wouldn't be too presumptuous of me to think that this anime will end up being fairly popular once it releases. So you can definitely expect me to cover more on it as more news releases. Also recently announced was the newest installment in the Gundam series. A new anime film called Gundam Narrative that will serve as a direct sequel to the Gundam Unicorn series has been teased with both a trailer and several visuals. Set a couple years after Gundam Unicorn's events, this series will take on more from the Universal Century storyline. So if you're an avid follower of the Gundam series that are found in this particular timeline, then you should be happy to know that many of the staff that worked on other Universal Century Gundam will be returning to work on this one. With Shunichi Yoshizawa from Gundam Thunderbolt being the director, Harutoshi Fukui from Gundam Unicorn taking on the script, and Sejun Kim from Twilight Axis handling character designs. Not to mention, topping it all off, we've got Hiroyuki Sawano in charge of the soundtracks. As for the release date, this movie will be hitting Japanese theaters in November. Next on the list of previews is the epic trailer for the part 2 of the Netflix Godzilla film. I still haven't watched the first one yet because I was waiting to watch both parts together at once, but seeing some palatable mech suits fighting against Godzilla and other monsters is pretty cool to watch regardless of context. So if you'd like to see the full trailer to this or anything else that I mentioned today, then you can go ahead and check those out in the description below. Keeping it up with the trend of movies is the lengthy 3-minute trailer that we recently got for the Sound Euphonium spin-off movie, Liz and the Blue Bird. It actually aired recently and the reviews have been quite good. Covering the side story of the relationship between Nozomi and Mizure, it's said to be a great way to immerse yourself back into the world of Hibike Euphonium. I for one thoroughly enjoyed Hibike, and probably rated in my top 5, so I know that I'll enjoy this no matter what. But to see all these positive reviews on it makes me even more excited to see how Kyoto Animation can present this series from a new direction. I'm sure you can already tell that the art style takes a turn towards one that is more similar to Koe no Katachi, rather than the more solid and defined style that we're used to with the original anime. And to be honest, it's pretty weird to see all these characters designed slightly differently. But hey, I'll take any chance I get to see some good old Yuri bait. And last in the preview department is the announcement trailer for Isekai Cheat Magician. So, another light novel anime adaptation with the word isekai in it. I think I'll hold my breath for now. Let's move on to some other news. In anime announcements, the staff behind the popular Netflix series Devilman Crybaby recently said on their Twitter account that there will be an important announcement made during their livestream that celebrates the launch of the Blu-ray set on May 30th. So you can take that whatever way you want and make whatever speculations you can, but I have absolutely no idea what they could be referring to when they say big announcement. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Then, in other news, it was recently revealed that the highly rated Yuri manga Bloom Into You will be getting an anime adaptation. So we started with Netsuzo Trap, then we got a slight upgrade with Citrus, but now, I believe that a Yuri anime will finally cross that 7.00 scoreline and make its way to mediocrity for once. I think this is more focused on drama and the slice of life aspect instead of fan service, so perhaps we'll get a decent story out of this one. I'll be keeping an eye on this one for sure. And finally, we got visuals for the upcoming anime Shichisei no Subaru, Island, and Backstreet Girls. All promising summer anime, I'm sure. And that wraps up today's news episode. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime news content, then you already know what to do. So until next time, ciao!